race fans, and welcome back to the Spark Racing Series, the late model Rescreened Tour. We're at the historic North Wilkesboro, and it's going to be another great night. As always, it's a crown jewel race where we are racing for a little bit of money on the line. As always, I'm your host, James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Breathe the action, 1080p, 60 frames a second. Drivers are getting out on track, getting ready to get this thing fired up. Let us know where you're from, who you're cheering on, as drivers will frequently have their broadcast pulled up on a separate monitor or device, and if they don't, they just about always go back and watch this again. Like the field is just about set. Let's run through the grid for today's main event. Starting on pole, Samuel Stoner in the 65. Justin Brooks starting second. Kenneth Gallman starting third. Kenny Trouton starting fourth. Johnny Rapp starts fifth. Justin Wilson starting sixth. We've got Jacob Bradley starting seventh. Cycling on back, we've got Sean Johnson starting eighth. Devin Jack starting ninth. Ray Beebe starting 10th. Benson Weaver starting 11th. Tony Caputo starting 12th. We've got Chris Hone starting 13th. Clifton Simmons starting 14th. Nate Grajewski starting 15th. Dylan Potts starting 16th. Dylan Meyer starting 17th. Robert Liedl starting 18th. Brian Brope starting 19th. Robert Brope starting 20th. Bill Hull starting 21st. Peter Stewart starting 22nd. Hunter Cole starts 23rd. And Robert Amaral will round out the 24-car grid here today. Been seeing the fans coming out already. We've got Tyler Barnett. He's putting in a little bit of a wager on Dave Grajewski. Got Grizzly, who's cheering on Kenneth Gallman in the number 71 machine. Gallman starting third. Do one more lap of I-pacing here and then send them out on track with a green flag and get this party started here tonight. $125 laps on the board. No additional sets of tires available for these drivers. And no fast repairs, no get out of jail free cards. Safety car will be making its way down pit road. Now we're gonna do one more lap, it looks like. Drivers setting the stage here this and a cash payout available to these drivers. The race purse is as follows: for first, $20, second, $15, third place, $10, fourth place, $7, and fifth place, $5. We got Evan Pienta joining us here, and Brittany Rapp cheering on Johnny Rapp. That's all a happy Daytona 500. Not sure how many formation laps we're going to do here. As the field is still set, ready to go. I think drivers are getting a little bit antsy here. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen 5 pacing laps before a race start. Boy, if this is the race, we're in for a long night, ladies and gentlemen. Just had somebody pull over. It was Justin Brooks in 033. Is letting the field by. I wonder if we're going to try and see a hard charge effort out of that number 33 machine of Brooks. Steve Bradley's, he's here. And we're going to go green flag racing, finally. Sam Stoner, Kenny Trouton side by side for the race lead. And already I'm seeing some bumping and grinding. I think that was Johnny Rapp, the number 52 machine. He's trying to guard the inside line from the 89 of Ray Beebe. Not a lot of real estate here in North Wilkesboro to make those moves happen. Sam Stoner enjoying a half-second lead as there is Rapp and Beebe leaning on each other in the battle for 6. Here comes Jacob Bradley, number 50 machine, also trying to make that outside line work for him here. Looks like we've also got a battle for second. Justin Wilson, Kenny Trout are going to go side by side. John Johnson, that number 32 machine. It's a great view of that second place battle just ahead of him. Looks like a little bit of a mistake there for Trout as he pushes wide out of turn 4, chops back down to block the run from Johnson. Johnson doing everything he can to try and work up there to put him in contention. Currently showing in third, but just ever so slightly. Johnson trying to work the outside line. Trout down low, number 25, machine a little further back. You can still see that's Johnny Rapp and Ray Beebe battling for that 6th place spot. Stoner still holding on to about a 3/10 lead over Wilson. Wilson's pulled about 6/10 over that frantic battle for third behind him. It looks like it may be drawing to a close here. And we've got a caution coming out. Caution on the track. I think it's going to be Dylan Potts. Yes, is facing the wrong way, and it looks like Robert Liedl, number 80 machine, might have also been tied up in that one. They queued up here as Potts was looking for a safe place to rejoin. We're focusing on Potts, number 2 machine, across the bow of the number 5. That was Robert Brobst. And that will bring out the first caution of the evening. Get involved in that, Dylan Potts, Robert Liedl, and the number 5 of Robert Brobst. The drivers all tied up. Like everybody's going to stay out on track, so the damage must not have been too bad for these drivers. Now Potts, the number 2 machine, is going to go a lap down here. But if he just keeps his nose clean, if we get another caution, he can get that lucky dog wave around and get right back in the lead lap. As tonight is going to be really about tire management. It's going to be the name of the game. Not burning up that front right to 125 laps. Again, no additional tires behind the wall here at the late model tour. Trying to get him gridded up, double file here. Now early in the race we saw Justin Brooks fall to the very back of the line, and he has already worked his way up into 15th. There is Dylan Potts waiting for the other drivers to make their way around. At least another lap of pacing here as we get the grid settled in, formed up. Here we go, the first restart of the night. Stoner on the gas, and that's 65. Like Sean Johnson. No, that was even the number 25 of Kenny Trout. Had a great launch as we watched Justin Johnson try to get down that inside line. And it is a lot of bumping and grinding going on here. Looks like Ray Beam, the number 89 machine, he's already gained 5 spots. He's going to gain a couple more here off every start. Of two-wide action available to these drivers. Now, are we going to get some green flag runs going tonight, or is it going to be an evening punctuated by short runs here? As right now it's Stoner, Wilson, Johnson, your current top 3. Brown and Beam round out the top 5. A little bit further back in the field, Devin Jack, number 49 machine, up against the wall. He's got Tony Caputo and Justin Brooks guarding that inside line. Jack looking for an opening here, but not quite able to find it. As there goes Brooks in that 33 machine. He's going to keep charging up towards the front after starting at the back of the pack. Jack's looking for that opening just ahead of the 33, not going to find it. Brooks once again dives back down low. Brooks looking for an opening anywhere he can find it. Jack lightly tapped the wall, and look at Brooks. Might make it a 2-for-1 here. Getting around both Caputo and Jack, and here comes Dave Grajewski, the number 6 machine. Grajewski has gained 3 spots so far. As now we watch Devin Jack, Tony Caputo, a great battle for that 10th place spot. A lot of bumping and grinding going on here. North Wilkesboro, such a historic raceway, and really can lend itself to some great short track racing. Grajewski trying to find the inside line against Caputo's number 14 machine. Caputo almost gets to the back of Jack in the 49. Oh, and there's contact there. Grajewski giving a little bit of a shot to Tony Caputo. And now the number 11 of Brian Broke's going to try and follow Grajewski through here. Wondering if Caputo can get back on the back bumper of that number 6 Grajewski, if he can pay a favor back. I just saw somebody leaving the racetrack. Brian Brobes, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Replay queued up here of Brobes, number 5. I didn't see anybody have incidents ahead of him. Brobes just loses the tail end, slides it around, and then hops off the racing line a little bit aggressively there. Probably didn't need that much throttle input. Wanted to quickly get off the racing surface, and that will bring out our second caution of the night. Looking to be Stoner, Wilson, Johnson, your top 3. Troutman round out the top 5. Looks like that was Dylan Potts getting that lucky dog wave around that we were talking about earlier on, getting back in the lead lap, accompanying the rest of the field. Looks like the field is set once more with Stoner and Wilson on the front row. Justin Brooks on this start is sitting in 7th place spot. He was the odds-on favorite to take home the most amount of money here tonight. The Crown Jewel race here at the Spark Rescreened LLC Late Model Tour. Will the safety car be diving down pit road? It will be. And we are green flag racing once more in North Wilkesboro. Stoner's gotta be enjoying starting up on the front row. Wilson did a great job tucking in behind him. It seems to be about 3rd place back is where all the action's at. As we watch Johnson and Trouton side by side right behind them. That's Beef and Rapp, Brooks and Bradley also sitting there 2 wide. It's already been some great racing here this evening. So Stoner and Wilson getting a little bit of breathing room here. Opting to hammer down and maybe, I was going to say leave the racing out of it for a little bit, but Justin Wilson has other plans. The 58. A bit of a mistake out of Stoner and says, I'll take the race lead here, thank you very much. But I wonder if Wilson thinks he has the pace, as Stoner has a bit of a blink there. And Wilson opting to use a little bit of that tire up early on here tonight. Wanting to put the meat grinder further behind him. I just saw Donnie Rapp in a pretty heated battle next to Kenny Trouton. Dustin Brooks, that 33 machine, going for the last of first challenge here tonight. Started this event in 2nd place, early open formation lap started at the very back, and has something to prove here. Well, look at Brooks just squeezing the nose of that 33 machine into the inside line, and we're going to hint at 3 wide. Oh, hold on to it. Rapp squeezed in the middle between Brooks and Kenny Trouton. I did not have 3 wide at Wilkesboro on my nightly bingo card, but a huge tip of the hat for these guys going 3 wide for pretty much the duration of the lap, and doing so very, very cleanly. I'm sure if Johnny Rapp was asleep earlier on tonight, that one has woken him up. As number 50 of Jacob Bradley, Kenny Trouton banging doors a little bit there. The 50 of Bradley versus the 25 of Trouton. And here we go, another big send from Kenny Trouton at the inside line. Looks like Bradley's going to carry a little bit more momentum there. And there's Johnny Rapp, number 52 machine. Now he's had the opportunity to kind of catch his breath a little bit. Doesn't want to lose any more ground because he has Devin Jack trying to close up behind. Trouton still trying to guard the inside line. Rapp running a little bit higher here, trying to carry as much corner speed as he can. Now 125 laps and no additional tires. I'm curious to see what the pace is going to be and how difficult it's going to be for these drivers to pass later on in this feature. Trouton holding on to that 6th place spot. Up front, it's still Wilson and Stoner have a healthy 1 second breakaway over the rest of the field. Rajewski. Brian Brooks, number 11, goes side by side as Rajewski tries to grab that 12th place spot right behind them. That's going to be, I think, Clifton Simmons, yes, and Chris Home. Brian Brooks, Jake Rajewski still side by side, a little bit further ahead. Devin Jack and Ray Beam side by side. There's Tony Caputo, Kenneth Gallman side by side. I mean, everywhere we pan the camera, it's drivers side by side fighting for a position. I see something developing a little bit further back as well. Look at this freight train of drivers. You've got Stuart Weaver, Cole, Lidl, Cole, Meyer, all in the fray here. There's been some Weaver had a bit of a rough start to this season, but coming back out and trying to get that momentum going for the number 1 machine. I wonder if Weaver's feeling the effects of tire wear already. He's dropped 8 spots in this feature. Check back up front, Justin Wilson. Still holding on to the race lead, a quarter of a second up over Sam Stoner. But now we can see Don Johnson and Justin Brooks starting to close up behind here. Now, last time by, Wilson took off an 18.98, so only about 4/10 off his fastest lap of the race. But I don't think tire wear has become too much of a factor at this point. Want to hit it with the commentator's curse here, but good to see a green flag run out of these late model drivers. And as this run progresses, it's going to be more and more difficult to make any big moves as we watch Caputo and Jack side by side the battle for 9th. So once these tires start to really degrade, the track is naturally, the car is going to want to push to the right-hand side and make it tougher to turn in. If you spend too much time wrenching that wheel early on here, it will prematurely burn up that tire. You know who's not having issues? Justin Brooks has worked his way back into podium contention. There was the 99 machine of Robert Amberall who's going to go a lap down, accompanying Robert Brooks, and another driver 1 lap down. Broughton Bradley side by side for that top 5 spot. Brooks has quickly gotten away from the pack. Looks like Devin Jack still trying to crawl his way back forward. Finds himself side by side with Rapping. Obviously, Caputo behind. So this is where some of the different strategies start to become apparent. Some drivers were taking it easy the first 50 laps, trying to keep the tires underneath them. Other drivers were trying to hammer down and get through the field as quickly as possible as there's contact. Caputo bounces into the side of Johnny Rapp. Caputo able to get that thing fired back up though, so we're going to run without a caution on that one. And that's what we were talking about. As the tires start to wear off, the car wants to tend to push up the track to the right. And if you're throwing it in deep and grab too much brake, the car just isn't going to turn for you. There's Peter Stewart, the number 91 machine. Not counting Justin Brooks, who qualified in second, and then went to the back. Stewart would be our current hard charger up 9 positions. And he's got Grajewski, Bill Hull, Tony Caputo, Clifton Simmons, and around goes Grajewski, and up goes Clifton Simmons. Looks like that's going to be Caputo, Simmons, Grajewski, and Dylan Meyer tied up in that one. And Clifton Simmons definitely got the worst end of it there. Looks like Caputo got it into Grajewski. And then poor Clifton Simmons just gets pulverized. Let's watch that one once more, focusing in on Dave Grajewski. Grajewski in the number 6 machine. So Grajewski got loose. Caputo had nowhere to go, and then the field just stacks up. Well done to these drivers holding on to the brakes there. Pirouetting across the track like that, definitely going to burn up the tires more than you were hoping for. As we're on our 3rd caution of the day, looks like it's going to be Wilson, Stoner, Brooks, your top 3. Johnson and Broughton will round out the top 5. Rated back up, double file. Now Justin Brooks is going to be starting on the inside line. That 33 machine just behind Justin Wilson. We've seen if you can time the starts well, that inside line can really protect you into turn 1. Here we go. Keep an eye on that number 33 machine. Going to dive it in deep alongside Stoner. And it looks like that restart worked well in the favor of Brooks here, as he is now slid up into 2nd. Now cautions tend to breed caution, so every time we get the field stacked back up like this, things can get exciting, and that was going to be a very quick run as Dave Grajewski and Robert Amaral find themselves with heavy damage. It looks like the wheels are a little bit wrong the way there on Grajewski. Yeah, looking before this incident, wheels did not look going in the right direction on Grajewski's number 6 machine, and poor Robert Amaral had no idea that was happening just ahead of him. Or look at that. I want to in there. Definitely some noticeable damage on the number 6 machine. And then as soon as he gets on the brake, the car not having the geometry, Robert Amaral finishes off the number 6 for our 4th caution of the night. Jake Rajewski, Robert Amaral down pit road. Looks like Robert Linkle will also join the number 80. Wilson's going to hold on to the race lead. As there goes Robert Brooks, number 5 machine getting the wave around. Justin Brooks going to be starting on the high side in that 33 machine. Go after our 4th caution of the night. Safety car should be making its way down pit road. That's Wilson Brooks, your front row. Stoner and Trout in your second row as the field stacks up, trying to time this right. Wilson on the gas on the inside line. Brooks running alongside that 58 machine. Stoner trying to get back in the hunt here. And it looks like Brooks might be able to make the long way around work, as he's still alongside the 58 of Wilson. Wilson doing a good job defending, but it looks like Brooks maybe carrying a little bit more speed around the outside. Hasn't been any contact between the two yet, and look at that, Justin Brooks gets clear in the 33 and takes back over the lead after opting to start way at the back here. Brooks actually set the fastest lap of the race on that one at 18.4, so he really wanted that track position. It looks like it worked out well for him. Stoner still sitting in contention in 3rd. Broughton and Bradley rounding out the top 5. Now what's going to be the strategy call from Wilson here? Is he just going to duck in behind Brooks and follow along for an easy payout? Or is he going to try and press the issue, I wonder? Ryan Probst, Johnny Rapp side by side right behind them. I saw a little bit of contact with Peter Stewart, Kenneth Gallman, and Bill Hull. I think Robert Amaral is going to get back out on track after 4.5 minutes of repairs. Unfortunately still in his pit stop after 5 minutes. Dylan Meyer, the 41 machine, has retired from this main event. Very busy racetrack here at North Wilkesboro. As that's Hull, Gallman, Caputo. A 3-car battle for 12. Up front, Wilson doing a great job pacing the 33 machine of Brooks. Got 50 laps left to go here this main event. And the lap time's still fairly quick out of these drivers. And Sam Stoner doing a great job there, sitting in third. Staying with his lead pack, but he's got Trout, Bradley, Johnson, Jack right behind him as well. Not a lot of room for mistakes here at North Wilkesboro. Any little bobble will allow somebody to take over the inside line, as we're seeing with Sean Johnson, the RC Cola back 32. That's Jacob Bradley in the fluorescent yellow and black number 50 machine. Now tonight pays out to 5th. Right now, Johnson in that hot seat, the final payout position. Kevin Jack can see a few dollars ahead of him as well in that 49. Jack slides up into 6th, just ahead of Bradley. Looks like a little bit of traffic ahead. That's Robert Little, number 80 machine. Trying to go to the high side to hop out of the way for these drivers. That's going to put everybody into a 3-wide situation once more. Luckily, Bradley and Rapp were able to get through that when navigating the traffic here. No blue flag rule here. It's short course racing, but drivers, if they see a lead lap car coming up behind, closing quickly, they will do their best to help facilitate that pass as quickly as possible. Oh, a little bit of a shimmy there for Bradley, gets out of shape. Peter Stewart had to take evasive maneuvers as well. And let's go back to 3rd. Sam Stoner has company. Here comes Trout, number 25, working the inside line. The battle for 3rd is where side by side is Trout versus Stoner. Trout number 25, Stoner the 65. It looks like Trout's going to come out on top here. But I don't think Stoner's going to let him walk away with it. He is still on the gas, trying to see if he can get right back in there. Back to Peter Stewart. He's in the middle of a meat grinder with that 91 machine. He's got Jacob Bradley, the 50, just ahead. And right behind is Bill Hull and Kenneth Gallman. But Stewart's having a great race here. He's up 11 spots from where he qualified. Another driver having a great run. It's going to be Brian Brooks, number 11. He has been able to gain 10 positions so far. To hold on to it. Hull, Bradley, Bowman, and Hone kind of stacking up a little bit right behind. And look at all the marbles up on the high side of the track as well. So as these tires wear down, the rubber off the tire will ball up and eventually roll off the tire. And that is what you see up in the high side of the corners. And let me tell you from experience, if you get up there in the marbles, it is mighty slippery. That's going to be just one more thing drivers have to focus on as the run progresses. The cars get tougher to turn in. Kevin Jack, Ray B battling for 6th. Jack dragging the wall just so slightly there as the 89 at B looks to the side, hunting for an opening. Jack carries a little bit more speed right now. It seems like that outside line able to carry just a tiny bit more momentum for some of these drivers. As up front, It is still Justin Brooks, Justin Wilson, Kenny Trout running 1, 2, 3. With Sam Stoner and Sean Johnson round the top 5 in the final payout spot. But we've got another caution. It looks like it's going to be Robert Liedl having some sort of issue. Now, is this going to be a solo incident for the 80, or does he get a little bit of help? Gets loose. Trying to see. That was made by one of our drivers not getting in. Oh, that was the 38 machine of Clifton Simmons avoiding contact with Robert Liedl. Well done to Simmons there, avoiding that one. Get an onboard with Clifton Simmons for that incident. Here's the onboard with Clifton Simmons. Just a window full of the number 80 machine of Robert Liedl. And that will be our 5th caution of the night. As we get ready to tick over the live timing tower, it's going to put 30 laps on the board. Still going to be Justin Brooks in the top spot, accompanied by Justin Wilson on that front row. Kenny Trout and Sam Stoner will make up your 2nd row. Don Johnson and Devin Jack. Oh. There goes the 38 of Clifton Simmons getting back on the lead lap. We are gridded up, double file. 20 drivers still on the lead lap. Looks like 21 still out on track. Robert Amaral has put that number 99 machine behind the wall. Dave Rajewski still in his pits off for 14 minutes, so I don't think Rajewski will be joining us again. Yeah, I think the pace car should be down pit road. Keep an eye out, Justin Wilson on the high side in the 58. Try and time the launch with Justin Brooks. Wilson going to be able to drop down the inside line ahead of Trout, and looks like he might be able to here. But things are stacking up from 3rd place back. Devin Jack going for it. You've also got Stoner and Johnson side by side 4th. Tires pretty well and burned in at this point. It looks to me like some of the drivers have been getting looser as the run progresses here, so maybe leaning on that back right tire. Oh, and there's contact. And Justin Wilson is going to get punted, and the field is going to stack up in a spectacular fashion. It's a parking lot here at North Wilkesboro. Nobody knows where to go. To breaking down this replay. Back that up a little bit. slow it down. So Trouton was going to the inside line. Catches a corner of Justin Wilson. Devin Jack also comes in, gives a love tap to Trouton. I think that's what finished off the 58 machine. And then this is where things get spicy for the rest of the field. Watch Sam Stoner drifts up in the traffic. Around goes the 49 of Jack at the top of the. Not sure where the field thought this was going to end up. But I think still being on the throttle at this was ill-advised. There's Johnny Rat, the 52 machine. Also getting tied up. The number 91 of Peter Stewart gets launched in the air. Looks like that was from the 50 of Jacob Bradley. And I know Peter Stewart has taken a tow back to pit road. Dylan Potts is in pit road. It is carnage in North Wilkesboro, and less than 25 laps left to go here. Looking like Kenny Trouton is going to get the penalty for that one as he receives Noel, goes towards the back of the pack. That's going to be Brooks and now Johnson on the front row. Devin Jack, Brian Brooks, your second row. Chris Hone and Tony Caputo will be your third row. Now all of a sudden, for a bunch of drivers that were hoping for a top 10, might find themselves suddenly in a cash-paying position. Here we go, it's gonna be 20 laps left to go. Brooks with a huge launch, but drags the outside wall. Trying to carry as much speed as possible. There's Johnson and Jack side by side in the battle for second. I see the field getting a little bit dicey behind them as well, but these guys are here to put on a show. Ryan Brooks, number 11 machine, he's up 15 spots now in a cash-paying spot, as well as Tony Caputo. He's up 7 spots up into 5th. Machine of Sean Johnson trying to keep Brian Probst at bay. Not a lot of time left for these drivers, so if you've got a little bit of extra tire to use up, I'd say now is about the time to do it. This is getting a little bit out of hand. Justin Wilson was running up front, has so much to gain. I think he's going to be very, very aggressive here in the 58. As he pulls up to Robert Brooks in the 5 machine. There's also Vincent Weaver in the number 1 machine. Like something has happened to Johnny Rapp. Rapp comes down pit road. Wilson leading on Robert Brooks there, the number 5. Robert Brooks having a good run as well. Another driver up 9 spots. 15 laps left to go. Justin Brooks still your race leader with a comfortable 1.1 second gap. Justin Wilson giving it everything he has there in the 58 to try and salvage a top 5 out of this one. Up front in second, Devin Jack still running well on the 49. Johnson and tow, the number 32 machine. They're about 4 tenths up over Brian Brooks, who sits in 4th. There's Justin Brooks, race leader. He's got a little bit of lap traffic ahead of him. I think I spotted Johnny Rapp in the 52 machine. Rapp had come down pit road maybe to get some repairs done on that thing. And I'm sure he'll be very aware that Brooks is charging up behind him. Now I'm interested to maybe see the reason why Brooks is hammering so hard on the throttle. I thought he'd leave a little bit left in the proverbial tank in case we have another restart. Wants to keep tire wear available to him. And we had another problem. Johnny Rapp, I think I just saw parked on the infield there, looking for a safe place to rejoin, so that will avoid another caution coming out, at least at this point. Trout, Justin Wilson having a battle for 8th. Those are the two drivers that had contact in that last caution. And both drivers rapidly running out of time here. We're 9 laps left to go. But another incident as Dylan Potts finds himself almost backing out onto a hot track. And that might put us in a green-white checker condition. Potts got hard on the binders to avoid getting to another driver. Ended up in the infield. Look at this. Almost had some big issues there. Now let's see. This might put us in a green-white checker condition. If so, we have one green-white checker overtime available for these drivers. Let's see, can we get the restart going before we are 3 to go? Don't believe, couldn't be a single file restart, I don't think. So it should be Brooks and Jack in the front row, Johnson and Brian Brobster second row, Tony Caputo and Chris Hone on the third row. Here we go. I think we're going to get this thing fired before we have to use a green-white checker attempt. Here we go. We are green flag racing. And already I saw a gutsy move from Devin Jack dive into the inside line to try and shove off Brian Brobst from a podium. Looks like Sean Johnson, the 32 machine, is going to risk it all here, pulling up alongside of Brobst, trying to squeeze out that final podium spot. White flag will be out next time by. If we can grab the white flag, we win this thing for certain under green. Looks like Johnson trying to muscle his way to third. It's still Brooks and Jack first and second. White flag is unfurled for Justin Brooks, race leader. Just a half lap left to go. There are going to be no more cautions here at North Wilkesboro. Justin Brooks picks up the win at the Crown Jewel. Devin Jack gets second. And Sean Johnson will round out the top three. We're going to try to get these drivers up here to victory lane. I think Brooks is pose here at the winner's circle. We're going to try and get these drivers up here to victory lane. We're waiting on Brooks, Jack, and Johnson to make their way up to the winner's circle here at North Wilkesboro. But what a wild race, and some drivers win a little bit of money. Oh, don't forget Brian Brobes, Kenny Trout, finishing 4th and 5th. Also going to be taking home a bit of a paycheck here. Still waiting on these top three drivers. Looks like we're ready to get things underway here. We're going to start things off with third place and Mr. Sean Johnson, the 32 machine. Sean up 5 spots from where he qualified, kept the RC Cola backed car relatively clean. What a man, exciting finish to that one.
Yeah, I'm happy with getting to move up to third and kind of hung around that position all night.
And Sean, it looked like you were able to keep your nose out of some of those big pile-ups that we saw. I think the track position is what kind of helped you stay out of danger a little bit more so than other drivers?
Well, for sure. There was only one wreck I think that happened in front of me between I think like the 25 and 65 and 68, I want to say, or 58. But I managed to get through that with just a little bit of minor damage.
Glad things worked out well for you. Now, we've already seen drivers discussing how aggressive they were on their tires tonight. How were you feeling at 32? Was it pushing? Was it loose off? Or was it pretty solid all the way around?
It stayed pretty neutral. It got slidey for sure. I think I finished with like 42-40 on the right sides. Um, There were a few moments that it wanted to step out, especially coming out of 2 late into runs, but mostly just got slidey and neutral.
Well, hey, glad things worked out well for you and the car stayed planted for you. Before I let you sign off and celebrate, who do you want to give a shout to that helps make it happen and get you on the podium here tonight?
I want to shout out Rescreened LLC for sponsoring these races, keeping us going, and RC Cola and Moon Pie for making me a little happier before each race.
A timeless classic. Sean, good having you up in the booth, buddy, and hope to have you back here next week as well.
All right, thank you.
That was Sean Johnson bringing it home in third. Up next, Mr. Devin Jack, the 49 machine. Devin up 7 spots, and you had to fight tooth and nail for every one, it looked like.
That was a lot of fun. I wasn't expecting to get that far up into the field. I didn't think I had the pace when it came to practice qualifying. I was surprised that every position was a battle, but I was surprised I got as far up as I did.
Now, I mean, you talked about maybe not having the pace, but maybe, I mean, even if you're, a couple tenths on average slower than everybody else, maybe that kind of played into a little bit of tire savings that allowed you to chip through the like that?
Oh, there were a few guys that definitely burned the tires off way faster than I did. I was just trying to watch it and not gas things up too hard on exit. I have a bad habit of doing that and roasting the rears right off of it.
But it seemed like things worked out very well for you. Now, coming up, we've got Martinsville and then IRP. How are you feeling about those final two tracks coming up on the schedule?
I'm confident with Martinsville if I was going to make it, but that's one I'm going to end up missing. IRP is going to be my final one for the season, I think. That's the finale, I believe. But yeah, I'm gonna miss Martinsville, which is a bummer because I had a lot of fun with that one last season. That's a good track.
Bummer we won't see you out there, but great having you back up here inside the top three. A great run for you in that 49. And before I let you go, celebrate with the rest of the hooligans here. Who do you want to give a shout out to that helps make this second place possible for you?
Unofficial shout out there to Kenny for bumping Wilson out of the way because them guys are faster than me, so that got me up there. But the usual guys, Dade, most of the guys here at Spark that are responsible for putting all this together, putting on the good racing.
Awesome. Devin, always a pleasure talking to you, bud. Congratulations on second, and hopefully we'll have you back up here the season finale at IRP.
Thank you.
Sure. That was Devin Jack bringing it home in second. But up next, the man of the hour, Justin Brooks. So, Justin, walk us through tonight. Did you lose a bet? Did you make a wager that saw that 33 machine going towards the back at the beginning?
No, unfortunately, I didn't. Apparently, I don't know if it's in the rule book. I want to go check it out. I want to talk to one of the admins and see. But apparently, they said it was like I don't know I don't know exact wording it was, but apparently me stopping before the start finish line and qualifying so I could qualify fifth or whatever it was instead of pole was against I forgot what it was, but it basically said it was. They tried to say I shouldn't have been doing that, but I didn't know it was a rule. I've never known that that was a thing because and we race real life late models and everybody goes for the invert and I cost myself points, but it is what it is. So hopefully I can get some clarification from them and clear it up. That'll be great. But yeah, that's what happened. Unfortunately, it went to bit because trust me, I was wanting to start second, just try to ride and save my tires best I could.
Hey, are you a real racer if you don't at least have a rule created on your behalf by the end of the season?
Funny thing is, the guy spot four, he wins so much that he's had rules created on him literally in the last like 2 years or so. And I sent that to my group chat, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I just got Pretty Little Ricky because that's what they call him. So,
Well, hey, a badge of honor, even if it's not what you're looking for. Now, did that kind of play into the strategy? I know in the past you've been very mindful of tire wear in case we see those long runs. Did that change anything, knowing you had to get through traffic and out of the danger spots a little bit quicker here tonight?
yeah, for sure. If anything, it definitely made it fun. I had fun going from the back to the front, but like I was worried that I would wear the right rear coming to the front because the car was really, really, really loose. But I just tried to just not overdrive entry, have a straight drive up off, but push it a little bit and just kept navigating through and hoping for yellows and yellows kept coming out and try to get a few spots at a time and set myself up there second and take the lead like I did and just try to manage the pace, run the pace I want and save tires a little bit. And I was hoping it was going to stay green, but unfortunately it didn't. But it definitely gave them guys a shot there at the end, and I was a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you because I didn't know what would happen. Because I like entering up high into turn one. I hate entering down low because I feel like the car binds up, and I was definitely worried about it. But thankfully, I got some good starts there and put them guys in my rearview mirror and just drove my race.
Justin, it's great to have you back up here. I'm glad you're a good sport as always, but it's a lot of fun talking to you. And before I let you go, you've got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the night. Who do you want to give a shout out to that helped you win this Crown Jewel late model event?
Obviously, thank you for putting on the broadcast. You do a great job every single week. I want to thank the guys that run this league. I mean, it's a fun league. Definitely can't complain about anything. I've enjoyed every single week so far, even at the road course where it's not my expertise. And anybody out there watching, I hope you guys had a good show or enjoyed a good show here tonight because it was a hell of a race. So, yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome. Justin, always a pleasure, buddy. Congratulations on another win for that 33 machine.
Thank you, buddy.
That was Justin Brooks bringing it home in the top spot, winning the Crown Jewel money race. He was accompanied by Devin Jack in second, Sean Johnson in third, and honorable mention still in the money payout spots, Brian Brobst in fourth, and Kenny Trouton rounding out the top 5. On behalf of the Rescreened LLC Late Model Series here at the Spark Racing League, my name has been James East with Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for spending your Monday night with us, and we'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.